1,200 parcels.
over the 1,200 parcels,
Is that weighted based on the property values or?
based off the assessment in
Some
the,
people
in
could
the
be 60,
village,
some people could be 15 or 20.
in the village tax.
But the average.
Average.
Okay, cool.
Estimated average. So the other thing is in June of 2025, so coming up, the village is gonna see the reval assessed values. So there may be a flux of increased tax rate with this change in assessed values,
This will be when?
June 2025.
So this coming.
So
The-
nobody in the village has seen the reval, only on their town
Towns.
and their school taxes,
Correct.
correct?
Just to give you guys a heads up on that. The exemptions would not be seen until June of 2026 because of the roll difference.
So there's gonna be an increase
This year.
this year anyway.
There may be, yep, just like the town.
2020, June, in June,
Yep, the reval will
Right.
be in June.
right, and then, so this would be on top of that.
Yeah.
Yep. So it won't be like reval slam, exemption slam. It will be reval will come through, and then the next year the exemption will come through.
So this will be on next,
So this is for 2026 then?
yes.
Yeah, so I'm doing, yeah, because the village is just a year behind me and the town on the roll.
Because of the
Yes,
that
the-
gap in our fiscal years, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So, I mean, when you look at the assessed values, it's not, I mean, it looks heavy, but they are our senior citizens who have already like given so much, so. It's up to you guys where you guys wanna go with the limit, but that's at the max. That's about the highest estimate I can give you guys to make your decision.
Okay, so that's the worst case scenario,
Worst
correct?
case scenario, right. At 40,000, 50%.
And I think the way Rob explained it, he wanted us to proceed was to go in, you know, to absorb this and then we'll act on it in our special meeting.
We're gonna have we have to do a local
Do a
law
special
for that?
meeting
We have to do a
first.
local law, so I'll
special-
need
So we have to do a.
I would need to know in advance.
Right.
So
So
that
we
we
need to
could
do
do.
a public hearing.
We're special meeting
Correct.
first.
Okay,
and
this
then-
is a
then
public hearing, we really need to make sure people know about it.
Oh, yeah. But that's the special meeting, then the public hearing, right, yes.
But either way, if you choose not to go 50% and you choose not to go 40%, you need to rewrite that local law. And in that local law, there is no percentage, it's just 15 income. So you still have to decide on the percent
For the local law.
for the local law. And if you choose not to change the income and keep it at 15, you still need to add a percentage. And then I'll just need to know, because if you
How
don't,
is it being calculated right now without a percentage?
that's the problem. That's why I've been,
What was your question, Lena?
How is it being calculated right now without a percentage?
that's the problem. Is right now, there's one resident getting it, he's been
It's
getting
just a
it,
flat number.
he's been getting it,
Based on what though?
he's been getting it based off what the town's been doing. But there's only one resident right now.
Is there any parameters for the percentage or it's?
You guys could choose a percentage, you don't have to go with 50%. Just,
No, but it
That's the
should be
max.
anything.
yeah, you could, yeah,
The
but
town does 50%?
town does 50%, county and school does 50%. The state recommends 50%.
And that's at the 40,000.
Yeah,
Are
town,
you-
county and school are all 40,000, yeah. So in that local law that you guys have written now, it just includes income level 15, no sliding scale. The village does grant the exemption if the owner is above 65 on taxable status day, or before the end of the year, and the village has not adopted local option to explore medical and prescription expenses. So it's very broad.
Yeah, okay. And so the sooner we do this, the better off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like March meeting is gonna be like pushing it for this open,
Enrollment, or not enrollment, but enrollment this year, you're right.
yeah, with this,
Well,
not,
that's why we're having a special meeting.
yeah, so you're gonna have the special meeting, and then
A
we can
public
get out to
hearing,
public hearing.
and then we'll act on the
Yeah.
local law, right?
That's what I'd like.
We're scheduling a special meeting.
Can I just
ask a question of Elena? I know that there's a certain limitation on what we can do in March with respect to local laws. Is that just introducing one because the next, the public hearing would be the following month, or?
Well, if we do the special meeting, the idea is that we do it the special meeting to call for the public hearing and have the public hearing at the regular meeting. I believe that was your conversation with the mayor. correct?
Yeah, so a lot of, like, the town has, like, for this, they have their special meeting right before the public hearing before the town meeting.
Right.
So everyone's already just here.
That's normally our,
Right, we do it as part of
our
the meeting.
protocol as well. You guys have any other questions right now for Tiffany?
No, I think this,
That makes it easier to look
Yeah.
at? Okay.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot
Yeah.
easier to understand, for sure.
Yeah,
It's-
so you'll see over here too, where it said, there's like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then like 40,000.
Yep.
That's the one person that's already getting it.
Oh, okay.
So you have to be over the age of 65 by those dates to qualify. What is,
For this
is there
one.
like a yearly
Renewal,
okay, so you have to verify.
every year, yep.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have people going in and out of it, especially as they're seniors, they're cashing in some pensions or transferring some interest and dividends. So as they move money around, some people come in, some people go out, so it does fluctuate.
Maybe some people get younger.
Mhm.
Ooh,
That would be a good
imagine.
reason to go out.
Wow,
I'm gonna hope for that.
So, yeah, every year they have to provide their income to me to verify that they're still eligible.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything else, Tiffany? or-
Nope.
Okay. Thank you. You guys have any questions or no? Good. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, I assume that's the two gentlemen just came in here. Jonathan and Donald? Okay, so we have Jonathan Halligan and Donald McCormick, is that right?
Yes.
From the Bank of Greene County.
So we have Deputy Mayor Ryan running the meeting this evening.
Yes.
The Mayor's gonna be running late.
Thank
We have
you.
Clerk Olivia, Attorney Elena, and we have
I
Trustee
don't know, I thought you guys were
Sauer,
saying-
Alter, Hanselman, and Shetty.
Hey, how you doing? John. Hey, nice to meet you.
Okay,
Yeah, so,
you guys, go ahead.
Where do you want us to stand, over here?
No, wherever you'd like. You can come up here if you'd like, whatever, that's fine. Whatever you guys feel comfortable, it's fine.
Yeah,
Address-
so,
yeah.
yeah, I'm John Halligan with Bank of Greene County. We've dealt with Denise for quite a while now. We met with her back in June. You know, we help support you guys on the debt service side with, you know, your bond anticipation notes, revenue anticipation notes. And this is Don McCormick. He's the vice president of the government side for the Bank of Greene County.
Okay.
So we're happy to support you guys on the debt service side. So, yeah, just talking with Denise, I know you guys bank with KeyBank. So she provided us with some statements. We did like a nice apples to apples analysis for you guys, just to see, you know, help the village out. You could see it on the inner page there. Just to help you guys earn additional income on the interest side. But Don will talk more about our bank, you know, as a whole.
Yeah, we're one of the last few community banks that are still around out there. There are a few, but our structure, the way the bank is structured, it allows us to keep from being taken over. Because, I mean, we're seeing already, now, aside from politics alone, but just in Washington, the relief of a lot of the banking regulations, you're going to see a lot more banks being purchased over the next couple of years here, and they've already started. So one in particular, most recent, is not really close to proximity here, but is Catskill Hudson Bank. They're based out of Sullivan County, smaller bank, about $500–600 million in assets, being purchased by Hudson Valley Credit Union. And you're seeing a lot of other ones. You see another one that was last year, Salisbury Bank out of Connecticut, very similar size to us, being bought out. You saw Kinderhook Bank out of Columbia County being bought out by Community Bank. The reason why we can't be taken over and the reason why we like our structure is we are a mutual holding company. However, we issued out limited shares to the public. And we retain about 55% of those shares by the depositors, so we can keep our structure the way we are. Based on our performance over the past several, actually a couple decades, we would have definitely raised some flags for some bigger banks, and they would have tried to take us over. But again, we remain as a community bank because there's very few of those around anymore. So when we do financing throughout New York State, dealing with villages such as Hoosick Falls here, it's very much a feel like some of the other villages. We already have local close to where we started and how we started as well. So if there's any way that we can increase interest income, again, talking to Denise, we would love to find ways to help you guys out. And through the analysis, as you can see, we were able to produce that income for you. Some of the key features of the bank, we don't charge for anything really at all. And you can see a lot of the banks trying to generate income, especially after the past couple of years. Income was tough. The margins were very close. The depositors really wanted to see more and more as obviously inflation happened. So banks were pushing really heavily in deposit accounts, so they were really pushing up on the rates, try to draw in as much as they can. But obviously that costs money to dole out the interest income. The opposite side of the spectrum, rates were really flat across. There was really no yield curve at all. It was just a flat line or an inverted yield curve. So banks really weren't able to generate income. So which is why you saw a lot of banks starting to charge fees, and also for others, they were not changing any of their rates. We remain relatively flexible. A lot has to do with, again, our structure. As John mentioned, we purchased some of the bonds for the village here. We do so throughout New York State. And by doing so, we remove the brokers from the deal. So when they charge 1-2% for each of the bond sales that we purchase, we remove that, and that's still more profit for us, allows us to increase the rates that you can see on the interest income. The other programs we started over the years, actually I would say about 15, 16 years ago, we started financing directly for fire companies and districts throughout New York State. It hits more home for myself than some other banks. I'm a volunteer firefighter. So I was tired of seeing a lot of the village towns, the fire companies getting taken advantage of by some of the bigger banks. They could say, oh, it's a small company out and so. When we created the financing program, it was alarming on how many bonds we had picked up. We've got a portfolio of almost 160 million just for fire districts alone, not including the entities that are protection agencies through villages or through cities and things like that. So it was designed perfectly for helping those out, and we're very proud of it. We pass that along also to villages and towns. We do a direct mailer for populations less than 20,000. So we're very happy to represent those areas that are outside the major cities.
And to just go over the analysis, it's just a summary. There's 6 pages for each month for the statements that Denise provided to us. And that green number on the front is just an average of the 6 months. So if the village did bank with us, it'd be an additional $20,000 in additional interest income. If you did make the switch.
For the year?
For the year.
Okay.
Yep.
And there's also, there's no annual or monthly fee. So that's an additional $7,000
Right.
a year,
Yeah.
right? So we'd be looking at about $27,000.
I think the fees were built back into it.
The
The fees were built back into the figure itself.
Oh,
So I
Yep,
think-
yep,
I think
yeah.
Keep was $500 per month, so that's baked into the analysis as well.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're saving your fees and adding interest on top.
And then, so it end up, the bottom line would be like 20,000 based on that?
Correct.
Okay.
Is your
Do you-
business model of being able to not charge fee or high fee based on you doing the bond business with?
It helps out a lot,
Yeah, so
but
you're making money on the bond business, so you're essentially subsidizing this, right?
correct,
Just be honest.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on top of that, our president really believes in it. We had some other executives move in from other banks that moved in from bigger banks and some other banks that charge or weren't in the municipal realm. And in conversations, they're like, well, we're giving everything away. We're like, yeah, but these are municipalities. I mean, we've always done that. And we're gonna continue doing that. And our president pushes it down. He really supports it. In fact, he's the one who started the commercial bank in 2004. So we've been jumped back into our structure. The mutual holding company can't bank for any municipalities. So we created the Greene County Commercial Bank as a wholly owned subsidiary of the Bank of Greene County, just so we can take the deposits. And he was one of the originators for the commercial bank. He's the one that started it up. So yes, we don't charge, no fees. We only have one fee that's turned on. That was only because of abuse, and that was insufficient funds charge. But we reimburse that every single time. We had another village that was abusing it, dipping into it, and we wanted to make sure at least somebody else in the office were aware of it. And we were returning them anyways, but we're not here. They were floating it.
No, do you do banking with any of the fire departments in our area or any other local communities and villages?
We've got about 170 municipalities we do banking with. Our portfolio just for municipalities, so that's all we do. That's John, myself. We've got 2 other individuals, and we're working on hiring another. So 5 people that would be assigned specifically for you. We bank approximately just under 1.3 billion in total deposits in our area. And that spreads all the way down from Ulster County all the way up through Albany. We have a fire district. Our furthest away one is Ringgold Fire District in Pulaski. We do the full banking for them. We've done some bonding with them over the years, and then they said they'd open up the deposits, so we're able to do all of their banking. Now, granted, the fire district's a little different story than a village or a town, but we do bank also with the village of Tupper Lake with some of their deposits. So proximity doesn't matter for us.
No, I was just curious if there was anybody around this area.
We've got, was it East Greenbush Fire District? We've got some with the town of East Greenbush. We've got
South Skodak
West
Fire District down in that area.
Yeah, we got some Skodak. Got was it West Sand Lake Fire District? Or Sand Lake Fire District maybe.
So if
but
I
yeah.
can interject, at this point, I probably should have given them a better introduction. But it
It's all
seems
good.
like this meeting has been kind of moving fast tonight. Our own official bank does not bid on our interest rates for our borrowing. If it wasn't for these guys, we'd be in dire straits right now. They've been great. I'd like you to kind of go into a little bit of how it would work locally if we were to decide to set up maybe one of our main accounts with the check scanner we had talked about. Obviously, it'll need a lot more discussion, but it's kind of interesting with no fees and the fact that they want to do business with us.
Right.
It's just kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, so our closest branch would probably be East Greenbush. That's quite a bit away from you
No,
guys. But,
no.
you could drive there with any cash deposits, but we actually Don and I come set up a check scanner for you guys, just to deposit checks. And that's a free service as well, so Denise or whoever's in the office would just run the checks. Any issues with it, call us up, happy to, support on that side. But yeah, it is a free service, and you kind of feel like your own teller, you set up the check scanner, and then we're here for support as well, and service.
Same machines as we use in the branch, so we have plenty of stock, and again, the drive's about an hour and 15 minutes from our office on up here, so if you had a problem, we'd swap it out that same day, have no problems coming up. We've got free online banking wire transfers, we get ACH services, so if you want to do direct deposit payroll through your program, we can provide the mechanism to do that direct deposit, free service. We've got Positive Pay, a great feature now, especially with the amount of check fraud that's going on. Have you used that at all?
We are just starting to look into it and.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. But there's also, is there a fee?
No, free. So Positive Pay, actually it saves us too, so in my opinion, banks should be offering Positive Pay for free. The amount of check fraud that's going on out there is unreal. In the fraud area, it shifts from one industry to the next. For quite a while, it was through credit cards and debit cards. But once you got the tap and go with the chip implant, that really went away, and they need to find another avenue for creating income for themselves. So what's the next best way? Is the checks. Ordering blank check stock is easy for anybody to do. So most of the time, they've been ordering blank check stock. Positive Pay stops that. So you send us a file what checks you've created. We load that into our system. Basically, you issued X dollars off of the number of whichever check number that is, from which account number, and on the date that you did it. And then we put that into our system, and as they clear, if there's any mismatch of data, it flags it for us, and we can stop it immediately. The thing that's becoming more and more prevalent now is also whitewashing. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna have the original check, they take that from the mail, they blank out the name, and they rewrite their own name or whatever they're paying, and then they present that. So most Positive Pays don't pick up on that, but the good news is we have people that monitor it and work with you. So with those, we have a full year to work with for full reimbursement on funds. And again, you work directly with us on each of that as well.
And Denise, we don't do cash at all anymore, right?
No.
We do as little as we can. We would obviously still need to have a cash account here, but
We don't take cash payments anymore, right?
We do for transfer station.
we don't turn people away. We require.
Oh,
that
because the
they
sign in
have
the
a-
window says you don't, right?
Yeah, well, we really can't say no that you can't,
Right.
so we really discourage it, and it's very minimal. We would still need to keep something local that we would be able to deal cash with. But it's minimal.
Okay.
Yeah, do you guys have any questions at all? That was kind of-
Anything else? You know, and so when there's no timeline, it's just whenever we choose to do whatever we're gonna do, we can just contact you guys, Denise can
Absolutely.
contact you.
Yep. You just obviously need to approve us as official.
Sure, yes, I understand
Whatever,
that,
if you
I was
decide
just
to go
gonna
that
say-
No, I didn't mean to put that.
Yep.
No, I'm just saying, we're getting ready to, no.
But the way we would envision and what way we've done it before is, we get all the paperwork set up well in advance if you decide to do that. We get your collateral account set up, your online banking set up, checks ordered well in advance. We deliver that, make sure everything is the way you want it. And then you can pull the trigger when you want to move things over.
So you get us set up before the green light to go. to start.
Absolutely.
I got you.
Make sure you're comfortable, you get all, and in the meantime, you can reconcile, see how many outstanding checks you have, and then you can get an idea how much you can transfer over. You can also, at the same point, know who's doing the direct deposits in each of the different accounts that you get, whether it's from the state or whoever else, and get all that lined up.
Obviously, like your legal department would email the documents to our attorney, or that kind of stuff with them.
It would be directly with us, so yeah, we can deal with whoever, yeah. Yep.
So Elena would be, no.
Okay.
Yep.
We've been trying to get him up here for 6 or 8 months, but.
No, I know you
he's been
talked
busy.
about, I know you talked about it,
So-
so that's great.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they were the only bid that we had on the revenue anticipation that we
Yeah.
had. So.
Well, I mean, it looks great, I mean, it's, you know, just looking at the numbers, if we can put $20,000 additional revenue, I mean, it's crazy not to.
Interest rate like locked in, does it fluctuate?
So we have seen some changes over the past year or so. Obviously, when the Fed had dropped rates, we actually lagged a little bit on our drop. The very first drop, we didn't do anything at all. On the second drop, we dropped at about 15 points, and then slowly started catching back up. But we didn't want to have the direct impact the same as the other. So you probably won't see any change in any of that rate unless the Fed does decide to drop rates. But they said 2 drops this year. I doubt it at this point.
But we have an internal rate committee as well, so we meet all the time, you know, it's like, hey, this is a new customer, like, don't touch the rate.
Yeah. This isn't a teaser.
You have the
rate where sit
flexibility
here
to do
and
that, right,
start
okay.
later.
Correct, yeah.
It's not like we get this rate for 18 months and then it goes up, right, like a credit card.
Right.
Right,
Correct.
Yep.
okay. All right, thank you very much. We'll definitely discuss this. We're having a special meeting within the next week or two, so we'll definitely get everybody's input and go forward.
And if you have any questions, our contact information is out there as well, so.
And actually, so you've got one for Rob, right? Do you have another one of these so we can, for the mayor? So I just want to make sure I get it. And Megan as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Do
guys.
you have one left? Well, I'll take those, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
gentlemen.
Great, thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
See
Okay.
you, thank you.
Bye, thank
very
you.
much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you. Thank you. Nice meeting you. Thank you. Pleasure meeting you.
Thanks very much.
Where are you volunteer for?
Thanks
Catskill?
very much.
You,
I have the paramedics down there, so.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
Catskill.
George, I just talked to him, well, we lost our chief this morning, unfortunately, but.
Oh, God.
But we cover that area. We're in that.
George is a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy, I like George. Went to high school with Mike Tyson.
George, yes.
Yeah, he graduated with Mike Tyson or whatever.
Yep.
We work right across the street from where he trained.
Yeah, I don't think Mike Tyson graduated.
I think he actually graduated from Tryon Holbrook Boys.
Yeah.
Johnstown, another place I live.
Mickey Rooney was still in town for a while.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, his old trainer.
Yep.
After Cusp.
Yep.
Yeah. Tyson comes in from time to time.
Does he?
Yeah, still does, yeah. You're bigger than everybody thinks.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Exactly, yes, you walk by.
Okay, next, the village election is coming up Tuesday, March 18th from noon to 9 p.m. at the Village Hall. Just let everybody know that. Okay, let's see. Mayor updates. There's a need for a special meeting in late February. Many items that will materialize in the next 2 weeks that should be acted on prior to the March regular meeting. They include parting decisions after interviews as far as deputy treasurer, code enforcement officer, and which will be set up shortly. Wastewater treatment, UV filtration project. The approval of the bids for project. We moved on the bond resolution last meeting with Delaware Engineering. Wastewater treatment dehumidification project. Review and approval of bids for new dehumidification system with Delaware Engineering project. And the local law introduction for the senior exemption. That'll be what we discussed with Tiffany tonight. The new water source is coming online soon. The village is continuing to work with the environmental engineers and DEC and the Department of Health to prepare the switch over to new water source. We anticipate this happening in March, and we'll make a formal announcement once the date is finalized. Restore New York, update. New York State ESD reached out to Mayor Allen to have an additional Zoom meeting regarding the Village Restore New York application, which is great news. Mayor Allen and property owner Jason Von Guinness will be joining that Zoom meeting later this week. That's it for the mayor's updates, and now people will be heard. Do we have anyone who wants to speak? Okay, you state your name and we have it just to make sure, Karen.
Karen Camarano, 115 Easy Street Extension, Hoosick Falls. So I know you guys only have one truck. This is not about the village. This is about the people who live in the village. Not cleaning the sidewalks, not being responsible for this last snowstorm. Like what happened to code enforcement coming out, and it's like 48 hours. Literally, the sidewalk by the library, the snow was pushed into the sidewalk. There's a big pile of snow in front of Jason Von Guinness's. I don't know if it's from the village doing that or if it's from the people, but it's a mound, a giant mound of snow on the side of the road. And there's multiple places, like by the Matt Whitehagis's house, that intersection. It's like where the cars are, you can't drive through. It's just not safe. All the cars that we talk about becoming a no parking zone, nobody moved their cars. It's a joke over there.
On Church Street, yeah.
Church Street, Elm Street, Center Street, all three side streets. You can barely turn. You have to let the other car come out. And then it's like 2 or 3 cars. It's no longer safe. Like, we keep talking about doing those things. Are we gonna do those things?
Actually, the parking study, we talked about that. That was
I didn't come to the last meeting, so I don't know if I missed it then, but I've been
No,
to
no,
everyone.
we have had a parking study done and we've done nothing with it, so
Okay.
we need to address that.
But like, and just ticketing this, like, the people that are parked in the overnight parking, that's why it was bad in front of Small Song, because the red car sits there every single night. I drive a guy to work, I pick him up at 2 AM sometimes. It's the same car, never gets a ticket. Also, like, Second Street, cars parked the wrong way, covered in snow. Same car's been parked there for 5 months. Ticket these people. That's why we have the cops, right? That gives us extra money for our town, right? I mean, it's only $5-10, but it adds up quick for all the cars I've seen. So that's it. I just feel like we can do something better for, and it's not just on, it's the residents. Make them, you love your town, do something about it. You want some senior citizen to break their hip going to the library? Not cool. So that's all.
No?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bobby, there's a question on the cars, because I ran into this issue. My understanding is unless there's a snow emergency or a parking limit, if the car is registered, it can park on the street and stay there.
Snow emergency, Kenny, correct me if I'm wrong, it's anything 4 inches, right? 3, okay.
Outside of that, you can park a car, to my understanding, and it could be there for 8 months and occupy that.
Without a license plate?
No.
If it's
Well, it has to be
registered.
registered. Well, the one's been there without a license plate that I sent for 5 months.
Well, it can be registered without a license plate, but I'm just saying it can be legally registered, just not on the road. I'm not making
Right,
excuses,
no,
I'm
no,
just
I
saying
understand what you're
that's,
saying.
yeah, but I know what you're saying. I know the one you're talking about too.
Yep.
Yeah,
But there was all 3 of their cars were parked the wrong direction in a row,
Yeah.
regularly.
I know what you're talking.
But I just want to be clear, you can park a car as long as it's registered and you're not for 8 months.
As long as you're not in a no parking
Yes.
zone, correct,
Yes,
that's
'cause
correct.
I've heard complaints about that, I've had personal issues, people are just leaving town and leaving the car on the street.
Yeah, there was one with flat tire, it was on flat tires, it still had plates on it, but it was over Second, Third Street, near one of the
What
corners.
if it's
just
registered
sitting-
and inspected?
No, I know, it's just sitting there with flat tires.
Yeah, but even the wrong direction, I
The
thought
wrong
there was the
direction
rule
doesn't
about
mean-
No,
the,
that's up to the police to enforce that, yes,
That's-
that's, you're 100% correct on
yeah,
that.
It's true, so it was like,
Thank you.
thank you. No,
Yes.
I just want it to be better. That's all.
No, we all
It's a
do,
safety thing,
agreed. Okay, reports. Police, we all have John's police report. Does anybody have any questions? John's not here, so I mean, I don't think we need to go through, we can highlight anything, but I don't think we need to go through everything if we all have it.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. So moved. Code enforcement, Mark, you have anything you need to highlight, or?
I don't have anything unless the board has.
Anybody have any questions for Mark?
It's been a little slow coming back from the surgery and different things, but we're slowly getting there.
$6 million man.
Bionic Amanda.
If nobody has any questions for Mark?
I'm fine.
Looking for a motion?
I'm ready.
Doug, second? Brett? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, move. Thank you, Mark. Denise, treasurer's report?
Oh, she left.
She left. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I know that they were collecting water bills all last month, and do you know anything else, Olivia, that you've been,
No,
okay.
that I know of.
Anybody have any questions or?
I think I saw you paid it.
Do it online.
Online, I do that, so I think I did see you do that.
Sometimes I've heard.
Anybody want to make a motion then to accept the treasurer's report? Deb, second, Brett, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Olivia, clerk, deputy clerk?
Nothing that's different than what's there.
Okay. And you're officially coming back to work when?
First week in March, hopefully.
I know you're already working that, I know
Yes.
you're doing a couple days, I know that. Okay, so looking for a motion to accept the bill clerk, Dan, Deb, seconded, all in favor? Aye. Nays? No. So moved, okay, Kenny, I'm afraid to ask you.
Where do you want to start?
I've talked to you too many times today, I know. the problems. Kenny, go right ahead, buddy.
Last week, one of our heaters in the mechanic shop literally exploded. I mean, like,
What was
blew
that?
apart.
What was
One of our heaters, one of the furnaces.
One of our furnaces.
Exploded. Blew the front right off, the flames flying out of it, parts flying across the shop. If somebody standing in front of it, they would have been killed. And then, so, I got a price on it from a couple different companies. It's around 14 grand to replace it. Yesterday, the other furnace decided to die. I had someone come out and fix it. They red tagged it because you can see flames coming around the front of it. I've got, it's the same exact furnace, so it's gonna be another $14,000. I have been in contact with FWL, which is the plumbing heating supply company in Bennington. I can get one of those units for around 7 grand and install it myself. So I think we can limp through with one until this summer, then we need to make a decision on whether to replace the other one or go a different route. I had a company come out and give me an estimate on installing electric heaters. They're around $8,000 to $9,000 a piece, but the electric bill is gonna go up exponentially with those.
And you needed how many, Kenny? Wasn't there needed multiple, right?
Multiple, yes.
Right.
Yes, because the heaters, both heaters in question are each 185,000 BTUs. And they just don't make an electric heater that good. You have to have several of them. And they're about 3 to 4 grand a piece. You have to run 50 to 60 feet of phase 3 wire, which is like $100 a foot. It's crazy expensive. And then, like I said, again, we have to put a new panel box in because the panel box we have isn't big enough to support the extra. So it's crazy money.
So for 14,000, you could get two and you would install both?
Yes, I can install both.
Because I don't know why you would kick it down the road, because it's probably gonna cost you more money.
Yeah.
You wait another so
Right now,
it's gotta be done,
FWM has
That's
one
some-
in stock.
Is that something you need to be certified for? Are you certified to do that?
I used to be. It was my prior life. I used to be a plumbing and
Oh,
heating
okay.
guy. Not anymore. It's been 21, 23 years. But I can do it. I mean, I've been working on them. I've been limping them along,
Okay.
to get them going. I mean, even if we just got one for now, and, in the summertime decided to replace the other one. The other thing is, the roof is leaking like crazy over there. It's several different spots. There's one leak on one of the heaters. I think if we can get by with tarring the roof, we could be okay. If we can't do that, buy some tin. I can have my guys, put a tin roof on it in the spring. That's something we could do also. I don't know the price of that. I didn't look into that.
Is it safe to get up and patch it for now, Kenny, or no?
Well, you're gonna have to wait till spring because.
Right, okay,
Until
that's-
it warms up, because the tar isn't gonna stick.
Sure, okay.
We've tarred it in the past, we haven't done it in a few years. I haven't been up there to look to see what kind of shape it's in now. I don't like heights. I'd send one of my other guys to do it, so. I'm too big to fall that far, so.
So as far as the 7,000 per furnace, how would, if we were gonna buy that ourselves, Elena, do we have to get multiple bids on that? Because it's over our,
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. I mean, we're talking about a building that people work out of?
no, it's the old highway garage. It's not this, it's our old, we have one individual who works there who repairs all of our vehicles.
But don't we need to have heat there for the employee?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I'm getting, that's where,
Yes, it's an
I would say it would be an
emergency.
emergency.
It is an emergency. And Rob approved it by emergency spending yesterday to Kenny.
Oh, I didn't know any of that.
Yes,
For the
But
14?
for, initially for the.
So I had a quote from Family Dance, who also has our water
He was
department.
there today.
They sent me a quote. It was $8,600 to replace it. Rob, I don't know if Rob got ahold of you guys, or he gave me permission to
Got ahold
purchase
of
it
me.
under emergency. Yep.
You got ahold of
And then, so I sent them back the quote signed, and they said, oh, we made a mistake, it's $14,000.
So it makes sense to do 14,000, have them put both in, do it under emergency, and get it done. I can't be kicking the can down the road.
I don't vote, but I don't disagree.
No. So so is that acceptable?
I would just do a quick motion. I mean, it's really confirming. It sounds like
Kenny,
some approvals are.
do you have the so do you have that quote from Webb's or?
I don't, I actually, they just called me today and told me.
Okay,
I mean, I can get an official quote, that's what you want.
okay, no, that's fine, but we can act on it tonight. And so we're only gonna go with they only have one in stock,
They have
correct?
one in stock, they anticipate another one in a couple of weeks, but I think the one will get us through, maybe we can save some money and get one, in the spring or summer. I think the one will get us through for now.
So you're saying two are not an emergency, one is an emergency?
Yes.
So $7,000 emergency. Somebody wants to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Doug?
What about the new panel he needs? Doesn't that need to be in the budget a little?
No.
The panel would be
That's
for
only
the
if they get
electrical.
elected.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't need to.
No, you're fine. Thanks.
Just wanna give him all the money he needs.
Okay, so Doug made a motion, Megan seconded. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So move, Kenny, go ahead and just do me a favor, get us a quote from him before, and get it to us before we go ahead and make the purchase, just to make sure that, he told you 7,000 over the phone, I wanna make sure it's in
Yep.
writing and it's 7,000
Sure.
plus. Okay.
Kenny, do you know how old the current furnaces are? Like how
They're
long?
older than me, I've been here 21 years.
Okay.
Sounds like we bought them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They went together.
Yeah.
Literally.
And are they propane? Like what are they?
Oil.
They're oil.
They're oil.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
So, okay, Kenny, so next.
So,
He's
we
not good.
done?
He's not done.
We have been scabbing our plows back together. Our plows, on the pickups especially, are just, we bought new trucks and put 15-year-old plows on them before my time. I mean, you can't even get parts for them anymore. Greg has been, he's been welding, Greg is our mechanic. He has been welding on these things, and there's just nothing left to weld on them. Especially the one I drive, the flatbed 1 ton, it's just in such a state of disrepair. I'm scared to use it, because it's gonna fall off the truck eventually. So I reached out to Upstate Plows, where we get all of our plow parts, to get a quote. They haven't gotten back to me, they were supposed to get back to me by today. I haven't gotten a quote back from them. I'm estimating probably at least, Rick could probably tell me, probably $10,000 for a heavy-duty plow to mount to one of the trucks. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, and so Kenny, how many are you talking?
Just one for now.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna have to budget in my budget this year for another one.
And that being, that's not emergency, or is it considered emergency?
I mean, the plow, we put the plows back, we actually put 2 plows back together today. So we have a plow for each pickup, and we have 1 dump truck. That's what we have right now. But if one of them breaks, we don't have a replacement.
How long would it take to get the plow?
They would have to order it. I talked to them the other day, and they have the plow that I'm looking for in Boston. They could get it in, if so. But again, I don't have a solid number, like I said.
Right.
I'm thinking at least 10 grand. I'm looking for a 9-foot heavy duty, I guess they're Boston. I guess, yeah. I don't know. I mean, he said it's heavy duty, I mean, the last couple plows we bought, they're like parking lot plows. They're not made to drive up and down the road with and pound over manholes and catch basins, and, they're just not heavy duty. They're bending. I mean, it's crazy. It's unbelievable.
So Kenny, how about money in your budget? Do you know if you have money in the budget?
I
for-
should have. I did budget for, plow repairs, and I think last year, I don't know right off, I'd have to ask Denise if I did, but I know that I did, budget for plow repairs.
Okay.
I just spent almost 3 grand getting parts to fix the other 2 plows, wiring harnesses. Like I said, they're 10, 15 years old. We bought new trucks and kept the old plows.
So if we're gonna meet either next week or the following, can it wait till then? Because you have to get us an estimate, you have to get us a
Yeah.
quote anyway,
Yeah,
so.
hopefully. I mean, we got a good one coming this weekend, so we'll see. what
No,
happens.
right, but I'm just saying, if we're gonna, I know we're scheduling another meeting in the next coming couple days.
And
a
I'll
few
reach
weeks.
out to the gentleman again tomorrow to see what we can come up with.
Okay, and if you can give us something, an official quote to make sure we can act on it, that'd be great. Right, everybody
Yeah,
agree on that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I
The
mean,
only thing is, it will be an imminent emergency if a plow breaks this week.
Yes.
No, I know.
So I don't know about kicking the can and then ending up.
No, but like Elena
emergency.
said, but we need to have a quote before we can even make the emergency purchase. We need to know exactly what it's gonna cost. So that-
I will have you a quote by the end of the week.
Okay.
By Friday.
Kenny, just out of curiosity, is there any way we could, if push came to shove and we were really in a pinch, can we rent one from somewhere? We had, no, it's just not possible.
No. I mean, if push came to shove, we could contract it out if we're down thousand. I mean, if you're looking at $1,000 per plow truck, per day, per hour. I mean,
Is that something we could do, shared services with with the town, is
I have reached out to
possibly?
Paul, he's willing to loan me a truck if need be, but they have their own.
No, I understand they have their own fleet and they have their own routes and I totally understand that. I just,
Paul would absolutely lend me a driver and a truck. I've already talked to Paul.
okay,
You know,
just thinking out loud to see if we get in a
Yeah,
bind, if we
sure.
got an option, that's all.
Jerry McCall has also said to me, if we needed help, he would help us,
Okay,
I've got a couple options, but again,
okay, so like Doug said, it's gonna be an emergency either way,
Sure.
but all we need a price and we can go from there,
yeah.
so. Okay, anything else, Kenny?
No, I don't wanna break your heart, but
Okay, no, that's fine.
How about the
I think I'm
pocketbook?
good.
So,
How about the pocketbook?
Yeah.
Kenny, okay, the sewer report, so does anybody have
We
any
gotta do a
questions?
motion, highway.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Yes, thank you, Lydia.
Motion to approve the highway department report.
Second, Dan, all in favor? Aye. Kenny, no more months like this.
I hope not, man, spring's coming, it's right around the corner.
Okay, so, thank you, Kenny. All right, so Kenny, nothing on the sewer you wanna highlight, right? Just
No, I just, I had forgotten about the minute, or the report, and I emailed it to Rob yesterday, I did them both in about 5 minutes, so I'm sure there's probably something I left out or forgot.
Okay.
But, yeah.
No, we're still making income, right?
Yeah,
Still, so
not a lot, not a
No.
lot last month, but.
$5,500 is, okay.
Yeah.
All
A
right,
lot of money in sewage, right?
Yeah,
looking for a motion to accept sewer report? Deb? Second by Brett, all in favor? Aye. So moved.
I do want to state, I know we don't have a place for the transfer station. We've still been working on the compactor. I mean, it's costing us money. I mean, I've had people out here again this week working on it, got more parts ordered for it. We're not making any money off that coal maker, and we're dumping money into that compactor to maintain it. I don't know what we can do, to even it out, or however it works, but I mean, yes, the coal mingle is like the glass tin and paper and whatnot that goes into that. He's not able to crush it, and when he can't crush it, it gets thrown on the pad.
Goes on the
and
pad and it costs money to get hauled away.
Yeah, as does, even if it does in the crusher, we're still paying a certain amount, but it's more, I think we pay more, correct me if I'm wrong, Doug, for C and D than we do for
Yeah.
coal mingle. And just cardboard and styrofoam and paper fill up the dumpsters, and it's hard to compact it, and so I don't know, like I said, I've got, the cold weather, it gets cold, the hydraulic fluid, turns to like molasses in it, and it doesn't work. I've got Bradley's coming out to put another heater on it. This will be the third heater I think we have on it, to try to keep that hydraulic fluid warm enough. Last year, we didn't have a problem like this because it was a much warmer year.
It was a much milder winter, right?
Yeah, these sub-zero days and mornings, it's not working.
Okay.
I've got a few ideas. We're gonna go up and try to wrap it with like some insulation or something once we get the new heater on, to try to keep it warmer. Try to block some of the wind from blowing in there. But, hopefully we can make it work.
Okay. All right, anybody else have any other questions for Kenny? All right, thanks, Kenny. Water report. Anybody have any questions about Jim's water report?
So, I have more good news. The water ban
Oh, yes, yes.
is so dead, it's like,
Yeah, I saw the thing up today.
yeah, feet up in the air, rigor mortis on the side of the road kind of a thing. So, Greg, I talked to Greg for a while today. It's not fixable. It would require dropping the entire fuel system out of the truck. I mean, it's not going to work. So, Jim and
Greg.
Greg, thank you. Went up to Upstate Auto Sales today to take a look at some vehicles. There's a couple different options, but a brand new, truck, you know, with the box on the back, is gonna run upwards of like $80,000-$90,000. It's just way out of our price range right now, so, yeah. So, he was able to get some, quotes on some stuff, which I'll pass around to the board here, but the one Greg recommended was a 2019, Chevy pickup truck with a utility box on the back. It came out of North Carolina. Greg said it has no rust on it. It looks in very good mechanical shape. I absolutely trust his opinion. The cost on it is $24,500. Of course, we don't pay taxes, so I think that's out the door. So my question to Jim was, before the meeting tonight, how much can we move around within your own budget to find money to reduce the cost that we have to find elsewhere? So he thought he could spare about $10,000. There's some instrumentation stuff that can wait until next year, that he can put off, and a few other things. So he thought he could get around $10,000. That would leave us about $14,500. For now, Jim is using his own personal truck, which I
Is it severe liability?
Oh, absolutely.
It is, and it's just, I mean, why, you know, should he have to use his own truck for, you know, for municipal use? So that's just an emergency
You
thing
could
right
get a
now.
van, I mean, an ambulance.
Yeah.
So they have,
They had another one for sale too.
Then,
Yeah, so we need to come up with $14,500 to pay for the water
boy,
ban.
14,000's the number of the night.
It does seem to be one number that I also would consider this an emergency spending purchase, and it's just, I don't know what we do. Do we need to get quotes, more quotes,
Do
or?
they have quotes?
Well, there's 3 different vehicles from the same vendor. Yeah. Quotes. I don't know who, the only other place we could get quotes from, I think, would be like a dealer, but.
I don't think we're in the market to go looking for.
We're not.
No, not in the deal, no.
We're not in the market for a $90,000
And that's
vehicle,
such a
so.
reasonable price, it's a 2019.
But you still have to get a.
No, that is what,
Yeah.
that is what.
But from more than one place?
No, doesn't
No?
matter.
if it's
If you found what
considered
you want,
emergency
oh, that's
purchase.
good.
Right, because that's how we bought the other vehicle
No,
from.
we got 3 quotes for that because it wasn't emergency. But
No, but I'm just saying, I know you got quotes.
Oh, yeah, go
I mean,
ahead.
I could look online and get you 2 more
I was
quotes.
gonna say, it's really
not a
easy to
big
get
issue.
We don't need to an emergency.
I think it's.
You don't need to in an
So
emergency.
I would say, let's allocate 24/5 for an emergency for the truck, with the awareness that $10,000 of that's gonna come out.
His budget is coming out of the budget, and we gotta come up with the other
I'll make that
14,500.
motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to go ahead and move forward with.
Is the motion to max out of 14,500?
24/5.
Well, I mean, additional money.
Right, well, we'll just leave it at the price.
24,500.
Yeah, 'cause But Denise will do the figuring out as far as where the money's
Yeah,
gonna
and that's
come,
what I
right?
told Jim.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
No, we're municipality.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, so all in favor of going ahead and spending the 24,500?
It's about time.
Yeah, everybody in favor? Okay,
Yes.
all in favor, aye, okay, so moved. Kenny, no more, Dan, do you have anything else for the
Yeah,
water?
just one other thing real quick, the dehumidification project over there, just so everyone
Yep.
understands it, the quotes were open.
Yep.
I think the lowest one was 133 and change.
Yeah, I was there the day they opened.
I know, within a few bucks.
Right.
133 and change, just so everyone understands the purpose behind this, and I think next time we do a projector thing, I'll get some pictures of just what exactly is going on within the water plant. The corrosion is eating away at the electrical components and everything else, so I think we can postpone that till we get some monies from some of these settlements or whatever, but it needs to be done, it's just a preventative maintenance.
Right, and I think we all agreed on that last
Yeah.
month, that we were in favor of that, so.
Yeah, I'll get some pictures so everyone can see just, the one electrical box looks like it will just crumble and fall off the wall.
We can do a field trip. We can all walk
It's,
over.
it's bad.
Yeah.
More than happy.
Okay, so anything else, Dan, as far as the water, or?
No, that's it, just talking to Jim today for a while about it.
Okay.
That's what I got there.
Okay, so that's the end of the reports. Minutes. So we have the minutes ready for approval for December 11th regular meeting. So would anybody like to make a motion on accepting? Deb?
Second.
Second by Megan. All in favor of accepting the December 11th regular meeting minutes as presented? Okay, so moved. December 19th special meeting. Somebody make a motion to accept those minutes? Deb? Second?
Second.
Megan? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Nay. Okay. Approved. February 3rd special meeting.
Yeah.
Deb?
Yeah.
Dan? All in favor? Aye. Okay, so moved. And the meeting, the minutes for the January 16th regular meeting are still being worked on. And the audio for that meeting, all the meetings in the village YouTube page. You just search the Village of Hoosick Falls Board of Trustee meeting if you're looking for those minutes. Okay, trustee committee reports. Trustee Alter.
I got nothing today.
Deb? Okay. Brett?
Nope.
Okay. I have nothing, I'm sorry, I apologize. I do have, as far as the update on the streetlight project, they're coming out to start doing all of the decorative that we own, and then they're gonna put the receptacles in the 5 poles that we asked them to put in, so that we can use that for whatever purposes we need to. And National Grid confirmed this morning with me that they anticipate, the Public Safety Commission anticipates approving and filing the buyout purchase from National Grid of the streetlights by February 25th of this year. So we anticipate, hopefully, the project of changing over the 440 streetlight fixtures will start in hopefully May or June to be completed, I should say.
Nice.
So, and we should save about $54,000 annually by doing that. So that's over the course of the 20-year span, it should be a savings of a little over $1 million. So.
That's awesome.
That's it.
So that's all I have. Doug?
We have a meeting with the town at a workshop around the land transfer station, and the authority's gonna be there. It's gonna be the 16th, Tuesday. Am I right about that, the 16th? The 18th, at 6 o'clock. Can you make that?
Sure.
So we'll be coming out of there hopefully with a recommendation for shared services municipal agreement.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes, and thank you to Town Supervisor Mark Sadam and the town board for working with us on working to get that, so it's more equitable for the village, seeing the majority of the residents using are the town residents, so. Okay, Dan, do you have anything?
Nothing more than the water.
Okay.
The water stuff.
Megan? Okay. Alrighty, old business, Department of Capital Projects priority lists. And we have no discussion on that, I don't think, right? We have no money to spend on anyway, so it doesn't matter much. The senior exemption, the local law, we already did that with, from when Tiffany gave us the information. We'll have to act on that at the special meeting. New business, proposed local law A of 2025. So, do you have?
He never gave us that. It doesn't look like he printed it or had it printed for the packet. I have it pulled up on my phone. I think I sent it out to, there was an email chain back and forth about this, and then I drafted it real quick and sent it out a while ago. But basically, I can just read it. It's proposed local law A, 2025, a local law to amend the code of the Village of Hoosick Falls as follows. Section 1, parking is prohibited at all times at the following location. Name of street, Willard Street, side both between Church Street and Main Street. Section 2, this local law shall take effect as provided in Section 27 of the Municipal Home Rule Law.
Okay.
So
So,
that's all that is. There just have to be a motion.
right, need a motion to set a public hearing? Dan, motion. Deb, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any more discussion or any questions on that? Okay, Kenny?
So, the lady that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Reached out to me. I didn't realize where she lived. She's directly across from that intersection.
I thought she was the other
Yeah,
corner, yeah.
I can't put, I can't, we're trying to make that no parking on that section of the street, so I can't.
That's why I just
Put a
told her
handicap.
I would have you reach out to her and discuss
I mean,
what he's
I
talking
can
about.
reach out to her if you'd like, but I mean, it's.
No, I can give her a call.
Yeah,
back.
Dan, you go ahead and you wanna tell us.
Yeah, what he's talking about is that there are situations where a village resident has a handicap parking tag for their vehicle.
Which she's provided with her letter, with the information she sent to Ken.
And with that, we can put a special, was it like 18 feet or what, 20 feet, whatever it is,
Right.
of a special parking restriction for handicap for that specific spot in front of the residents to diminish or to reduce the amount of distance to their house. But as you're saying, there's just certain situations where you just can't do it because of turning radiuses or.
The location of that request is one of the most problematic streets we have. It's been topic of discussion. It's Church Street at the corner of Willard and Church.
I mean, it's directly across from the exit of Church Street, going
Right.
down another, I mean, she wants a handicap sign parking spot right there, and we're trying to do away with parking there as it is.
Right, we've had several requests to do away with the parking and the parking study, so.
She can't park in that driveway?
Well, that's what I asked. No.
I'm gonna see if I can talk to some people to maybe facilitate something there.
I mean, there is a driveway for the
Right.
apartment building. I don't know who has access to it and who doesn't.
Yeah.
But there's also 4 apartments in the building,
Yeah,
right?
and there's one
Yeah.
driveway and all the cars are lined up, so if you're going up Church Street and you pass the old Stewarts, it's right there.
It's
That's
the
that
very
apartment
first.
house right after the old Stewarts, and they're lined up there, and we can't make the corner with the plows to come off Willard Street.
I think there was a back and forth dialogue about the possibility of that spot, the new liquor store. It used to be the handicap spot that I cannot imagine the liquor store is gonna use. I mean, can't imagine. So maybe that's a possibility she can, I'll
It
help
could be.
negotiate
that's-
something there maybe.
That's something she'd have to speak with them about. I mean, we
Yeah.
can't speak on that, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's about, I'm sorry.
Could you make it further down the road, still on that street? That's still her spot technically, as long as, other people could park there because it's handicapped, but could you do it further down?
We're trying.
That whole section of the road we wanna make.
All the way down, I'm sorry, I misunderstood that.
I mean, it's just a problem spot, with traffic coming one way, and we'd like to make it, I think we were in talks before of actually making that section of Church Street one way,
Yes, we were.
going out of town.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We were waiting for the parking study, and we need to get back to the parking study as well. We have it done, now we just need to do our due diligence with it, that's all, and change things. Which have to be local
You're
law.
good, you're good, I know you guys have a lot on your plate.
But,
Okay. All right, next is, so Kenny, Dan, you'll try to talk
yeah,
about that.
I'll have a conversation with
Okay.
her about
So-
it. See if
But Kenny, I'll give this to Olivia to file, to have on file. It's really official documentation.
Back to Willard Street, is that now, can I send out letters to bring letters to the people who live in that area and tell them?
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
we still have to do another.
Well, this is just,
Oh, but I thought you meant, I was shaking my head because I thought you were gonna give notices of the public hearing.
Okay.
yeah, no, we have to let them know there's a public hearing.
Okay, all right. Fine.
And so, yeah, I think we should probably generate some type of,
Especially for them.
So because we do the public hearing notice, but it would seem as if it probably be wise to
to,
the people who are directly
the neighbors
impacted
that
on
are, the
notice.
people that are gonna be affected by that should be given a letter, or, probably a registered letter, so they guarantee they got it, correct? Or no?
I could take.
And
it to the
it's
front
not
door.
required, that's, I don't know how many people we're talking about.
We're only talking, what are we talking?
One person.
No,
No.
the individual violating it.
Well, there's only three driveways on that street.
Right, but there's, you have 1, 2, 3, there's, I think 5 total would be affected. Right, because,
I would favor register. I want to make sure they know about it and we don't get blown
Sure.
back afterwards. I didn't know about it, nobody told me. If you do registered letter, you gotta guarantee.
okay.
Yeah, either that, or you can send it out with the next round of water bills. I mean, I think they're coming out soon again, right?
Oh, not until April.
Oh,
Oh, no, we wanna make that to make, no.
yeah,
So Olivia, we'll do a notice to them, and we'll have to send it out registered mail?
Okay,
Okay,
I can get you the addresses.
okay.
that'd be great. Thanks, Kenny.
Sure.
Okay. Next, election workers. A motion to appoint Betty Smith, Carolyn Moore, Mary Beth Dickinson, and Charlotte Forrest as election inspectors for the upcoming March 18th, 2025 village election.
I'll move.
Doug, motion, second. Dan, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Moved. Okay. Code enforcement. Discussion about possibility postponing biannual inspections for a month to give time to focus on addressing junk vehicles as per the junk vehicle law. We want to discuss
I'm
that?
all about it.
What's that?
I'm all about it. We were talking about that earlier, these junk vehicles that are just so everyone understands, we're not talking about even vehicles that are like unregistered or untagged, we're talking about in the local law, there's a dish of junk status, leaking fluids, broken out glass, rusting flat tires, sinking into the ground, those kind of things. It's an eyesore.
So the only thing, like, Mark, in regards to that, so like if someone is working, has a car parked in their driveway that's not registered or inspected, and they're working on it, or supposedly working on it, but sitting in their driveway, no plates, whatever, that's considered a junk car, correct?
I'm looking up the local law.
So, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess if I go in, I could actually physically go onto their property and verify that it's.
And I'm not just saying, I'm just asking a question, I'm more concerned about the ones that are parked on the street is our primary focus, but there are people who have multiple vehicles on their property that are unregistered, even though they're not obstructing traffic or anything like that.
Yeah, there are definitely some around. I mean, some people I've already talked to and they still haven't done anything, so, yeah, I mean, you know, the way that law is written, somebody is supposed to physically get in the car, move it 25 feet, to prove that it can't be moved. You know, there's some weird things in that law, but.
In that local law?
Yeah, so there's a way of redemption, if you will. So if a car's been deemed to be junk based on an outward appearance, right, a dish of junk status, the owner of the vehicle can demonstrate that the vehicle can move 25 feet on its own, under its own power, not by towing or whatever, to show that it's still an operable vehicle. If they can't, it's considered junk.
Junk vehicles, one thing, you're not allowed to have any more than one unregistered vehicle for the property, that's a New York State law.
So, I've got a question, maybe you can answer it. There's a certain garage, mechanic shop in the village.
I was just texting.
They have a couple cars, and, you know,
This is where we are.
one is like, he's restoring, it's an old book, you know, he's restoring, it sits outside, there's no motor in it. How would you classify that?
Well, so there's,
It's a business, okay. If it's a business, it would be different, okay.
I think it's.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
no, there's several carve-outs in the law, just so you know. So one of them is historical vehicles or vehicles that are under actual restoration. And I think you know who I'm talking about. There's someone around that fixes Saabs. They're covered. Some of them are for parts. They're under restoration. That's not what the local law is addressing. There's also a carve-out for like what Gordon had behind when he was over where the old Stewart's was, right? That's a bona fide business. It's you know, just piling up cars in your yard because you're a scrapper or something like that is not a bona fide business. It's an eyesore. It is a hazard.
In doing something like this though, Mark, question as far as the biannual inspections, you have a schedule, correct? I mean, they're on a schedule.
Oh, right, when I first started, it took a while to establish and try to get it set up, where we've got this inspections. Our law says every 2 years, any rental property is supposed to be inspected. So eventually I worked it out so that within the course of 2 years, I'm getting pretty much all of the rental properties. I have a schedule. COVID messed it up.
Sure.
Because that set us back a little bit. You know, I would caution the village about officially postponing anything. I think I have the authorization. I know that it's an apartment house that's in good condition, that's well taken care of. I can waive an inspection, but I would caution the village against you know, putting off inspections that should be coming up on my schedule for liability reasons, if anything were ever to happen, you know, I'll try, I mean, if, we try and, if we can definitely prove, I guess, that, you know, we got these the junk vehicles, I'll try and put more emphasis on them as time permits. You know, right now, if it's an issue with, I have not heard a single complaint in all winter. If there's an issue with plowing and stuff like that, then the police department and I should be able to work together. The police department should be able to handle some stuff, you know, and then I should be able to handle the things that they can handle, that don't come under B&T. You know,
Right.
so that would definitely qualify as the junk vehicles, you know, but, I mean, we could take that on a case-by-case basis, you know, but, there hasn't been any recent complaints. I know Kevin a while ago had sent a list of stuff. Some of the ones I did work on, I don't think I got everything he sent a list on, but.
And there's also, what caught my eye too was looking at the police report, and there was one parking ticket issued last month. I mean, I know there's a lot more than one parking violation driving down the street every day. You can count 20, you know, and it's like, so that's, and I talked to John about that as well, you know, so.
Yeah, you know, and there's no doubt, my focus has definitely been on, you know, I don't go around looking for junk vehicles. You know, I'm looking at, when I'm out and about, I'm looking at apartments. I mean, that's really been my major focus, you know. Recently got a complaint on a house in Rogers Avenue that went up for sale that they thought an apartment had been added to it. I had talked to the owners a couple years ago, and they said, no, nobody lived in there. Well, come to find out, even the ad for the house being for sale said there is an apartment, an illegal apartment. So I did go and write a, you know.
I saw that's in court, I saw that, right?
I've been contacted by the attorneys representing the buyers that, you know, what they're gonna have to do. Basically, they're gonna have to remove, no, you're talking a different case. The
Oh,
one in
okay.
court is a different case.
Oh, okay,
All right, also on Rogers, that's, yeah, so,
okay. I thought it was the same one, I'm sorry.
yeah, so they both are illegal apartments. So the one that's being sold, basically what I've told them, they're gonna need a CO to move in, and in order to get a CO, they're gonna have to prove to me that the apartment's been removed. And the way that you do that is that there is no second kitchen.
I got you. Oh, that's Lower Rogers, right? You're talking? Yeah, I know what you're talking, okay. All right, so are we all in favor of that? If we just, I mean, so if we don't need to postpone your biannuals, if you still think you can, you know.
I'll try it. I mean, you know, if I can work with the police department, Kenny, if they wanna, you know, if they point out vehicles to me that, you know, the police department's gotta be involved in this too.
Oh, understood. Yeah, you're not the law. I understand that, Mark. No, I get
So,
that. No,
And then I'm a little leery of just walking onto somebody's property over, you know, if there's a health hazard or something like that, no problem. You know,
Aren't they supposed to
motor
put a-
vehicle, you know, if that's what the village wants me to do, and I just go ahead and walk on people's property,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
I thought they were supposed to-
No, I get it. Safety first, I get that, Mark, no. But the big thing is, so the law states that you send out, first of all, you send out a notice, correct? You give them X number of hours or days to
Yeah,
either.
that law is very tight. I think it's 48 hours or something. It's pretty tight.
No.
Yeah, that's not something I'm used to, because most of the stuff that I do when I have violations, at the very least, I give 10 days, and then a lot of stuff, I give 30 days, and then I give a second opportunity. By the time I go to court, they've had all kinds of opportunities to fix whatever issue is going on, so, yeah. You know, we'll abide by the law, that's the law, you know, we try and.
They get
What happened?
72 hours, but that doesn't mean I don't think that we can't give them like longer. I mean, I think the minimum is 72 hours.
Right. So the problem that I've had over the course of years is that, you know, it's easy to open a case, you know, and stick it up, and put it in my file, you know, with all the other cases. Getting back to
them, yeah.
sometimes is the challenge.
Didn't we talk once about triaging and identifying the most chronic, worst case eyesores and go after that first, as opposed to, is this a movable car, is this not a movable car? So is there a way we can prioritize that? Maybe we sit down with Kevin, we go over the top 15 cases, there's no doubt about it, no issue.
Yeah,
And
maybe
do
have
something
a meeting with
more
Kevin
manageable,
and
that's less risk.
Mark and the officer in charge.
Yeah.
And Kenny. if there's any,
It should be a collective thing, we should be working on it.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we're out and about all day long. I can bring a pad of paper with me and, you know, if I see, you know, I have no problem helping out at all.
Some communities hire people who just, that's what they do, they go around and they look for the violations, they don't deal with them, but then the
No,
code
right.
person has a list, so the code, so more, we're not to go out, more.
No.
And it's not civil service, not anything, I don't know.
And I do agree there is maybe some triage there. I mean, there's one person who feels that they can run a scrapyard in the middle of the village with cars and everything else.
Where's that?
What's that?
Where's that?
I'll talk to you after.
I mean, I can take an hour out of my day and ride around. I can drive every street within an hour.
First Street's always on Facebook for their junkyard, front yard.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Wow.
There's
So what are we- what are we
there's another house on Third Street.
What's that, Doug?
What are we doing?
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm in favor of just doing, if we can just focus on the major concerns, right? You all okay with that, Dan? Everybody okay with
So we're
that?
not postponing that by anyone?
No, we're not- if Mark thinks he can
Right.
juggle both and we can
Yeah, I
make
just
progress
think
with the
we
junk cars.
No, I agree, we need to do those.
Yeah, especially with the departments, I don't wanna
You know,
jeopardize.
you ask some of the firemen who've been involved for a long time, and they believe that this program for apartments and stuff has made a huge difference.
Good.
Oh, well, I don't doubt that.
The biannual inspection.
Okay,
That's a lot.
so we'll try to set up a meeting with you, Kenny, John.
Yeah, let's come up with
and-
a game plan.
Okay,
I have fun next week. I'm glad to help with that.
okay. Oh, that's right, Rob's free all next week.
All next
Oh,
week.
nothing to do, right?
Nothing to do.
Okay, now I'm turning the meeting over to the real mayor. Just in time. We're the motion to go in executive session.
So, do you guys have any questions or any other things before we enter executive session? Oh, that's perfect. All right. Looking for a motion to enter executive session to discuss proposed current or pending litigation and potential future hiring decisions with no business to be conducted at the end of executive session.
Doug and second by Deb.
Second by Deb. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstentions? Carries. We're going to move to executive session. Students will sign off on whatever you need. Otherwise, we're all set. Thank you guys very much.
Expect a good one.
5-minute meeting. That was a